Welcome to Red Zone DFS Week 14. Guys, what's the big news?
Big news, you're back in the saddle. You're back.
Yes, I am.
If anyone's wondering why we're 20 minutes late, Joe got puked on by his newborn. So,
yeah, I changed his diaper, and then as I was putting his onesie on, he decided to shit himself again and throw up at the same time. So we had to do the whole process over again. That's why we're a little behind, but here we are.
That'll happen.
Sounds familiar.
That'll happen. The repeater.
That's right. Well, on to bigger and better things. Week 14. How you guys feeling this week after a pretty strong week last week?
I feel pretty good. I like these like condensed slates. I think that there's some really premium plays. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I think there's a lot of high priced quarterbacks and there's not really any mid range quarterbacks. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I
obviously bottom heavy.
Obviously, my Mike White Jets stack did not quite pay off. What's funny though is Mike White did, and so did Garrett Wilson. Just the entire lineup,
not the other pieces.
So that was a brutal bummer, but that's okay. Like, few other lineups hit well. It's nothing worse though than like your second or third lineup you decide not to enter into the main room does well, and if you just would have played that one, you would have been very positive on a Sunday, but that's okay. Moving on.
All right, Jimmy, let's start with you, man. What do you got at the top?
I mean, I think up top, I think it's very difficult to go away from Hurts versus just a very, very bad defense. I know a lot of people probably go to Josh Allen, but I would much rather just play Hurts. You can do the same thing that I did last week where you can just play Hurts and A.J. Brown, and then that's it. You don't have to try and get cute with this one. He's where I'm going if I'm going up top.
I agree. I already have a Hurts lineup built with A.J. Brown and Devontae, and it's pretty easy to get another big game player, big target in that lineup with those guys, being that there's some good value on this slate that we'll talk about. But I'm with you, man. I am off Allen and I'm off Mahomes this week, which sounds pretty crazy, but I just think those defenses are tough and their offenses aren't very good. So
I don't think it's crazy at all. I mean, you got to get 4X, right, to get up to 200 to try to win any of these tournaments. You're going to have a chance. Josh Allen hasn't gotten 4X since week 5. You know, like he's doing what they need to do to win and keep the train rolling, but he's not killing it in fantasy numbers like you'd think so. Not for 8,300. So I'm with you on skipping on Josh Allen this week.
Well,
I'd rather go with
they just have so many pieces on. Yeah, they just have so many pieces on their team where he doesn't need to be the like dominant, like do everything guy, right? Like if we get like, I really like Josh Allen like in like the playoff rounds where you'll just get him unleashed and he'll be doing everything, but he doesn't need to do that to beat the Jets,
right?
So
yeah, I'm with you. And
it's definitely your version. You know, go ahead.
There, you were kind of breaking up.
Oh, I'm good.
Oh, all right. No, the only thing I was going to say is I think Hurts is providing much more on the ground, right? Like lately.
Dude, he's got the deep ball.
He's got the deep ball, but like Allen, he's scored 1 rushing touchdown his last 4 games. He's not quite just running at the same like pace as Hurts, and last 3 of the last 4 games, Hurts has popped one in on the ground. So like right there alone, like you've got a better floor in my opinion. So I'm with you. If I'm going up top, I'm going to Jalen.
All right.
I like it. Let's move down to 7K and below. My favorite guy here is Joe Burrow. I know there's a narrative behind him that he does not play well against the Browns. I think he's well aware of that narrative. They're in the playoff hunt or the sniffing race, and they're at home. And I think they're going to
race.
They've instead of in the hunt, they've been broadcasting sniffing around on the broadcast instead of in the hunt lately. So
I have heard that. It's pretty funny.
So Joe Burrow at home. He's got all of his guys back. I love the stack in this game as well. So Joe Burrow is actually probably my favorite quarterback on the slate, and he's at a discount at 7K.
Yeah, I like Burrow as well this week. I had him definitely on my list. Outside of that, Jim, where are you kind of at? 7s, 6s?
I mean,
Here, but
I like the Burrow call. I think that after, I don't know how you can't just load up on Kirk Cousins against Detroit.
yeah.
I mean, he's 12% owned, and that's not enough. I mean, you could literally game stack the entire game. It's just like can you find the salary to do it? And I think the answer is yes. There's a lot of like weird situations where you can get like really cheap wide receivers this week. We'll get to that in the wide receiver section, but there's some pretty like wild wide receiver plays that open up basically anything that you want to do. So yeah, I think that you just kind of have to load up on Kirk and go for it. He really hasn't had like a explosive like dynamite game in a little bit.
And he owns the 10 a.m. games.
Yes.
He is the king of the 10 a.m. games.
He's the early game like absolute hammer, right? So like because he's playing at 10 a.m. versus Detroit specifically, I'm playing some early only lineups so that way I can just focus on that. But
big fan.
Yeah, I mean, I just give me all of him.
Do you guys have any interest? Because you guys typically do have interest in some areas of Jared Goff, who is gaining seemingly a little bit more ownership than Kirk, but the other side of this game. Are you guys going to be playing any Goff?
Yes. And the reason is Goff is almost getting you there every single time, if not getting you more. And how many touchdowns does Williams have from the 1 yard line where Detroit receivers are getting stopped at the 1 or inside the 5? Some of those are going to break. And Detroit is favored this week. I don't know how. Their head coach doesn't know how. He was very clear about that. So I just know that Detroit's going to be in this game. It's probably going to be a very high scoring game. And the goal is that Goff gets those touchdowns instead of Williams, which has screwed just about everybody this season. But I have a good feeling it's going to turn.
I like it. I went to go right as I went to go text you guys earlier this week. You talked about how much you like kind of the other side of this, but I'm definitely going to be playing some Geno this week. I actually like a little bit that the running back situation is completely a tire fire because, again, they're not going to be able to just run their normal game plan of like run the football. Right.
Yes.
The other thing I like about it, like I'm not saying he's going to be perfect and he's going to be a world beater out there, but the sheer volume alone with DK and Lockett should be there. Right. And I don't need him to be perfect. Like even if he hucks a few interceptions, takes a few sacks, like that doesn't bother me at all.
That's actually better for your cause.
It is. Like I think it just is going to push him to more volume. Like they're not going to be able to run the game out here.
Yeah, that's true.
I just like it. Like for me, I feel like it's a little bit more like bust proof in my opinion.
The story I'm telling myself this week is that without the running game there in Seattle is Geno's going to be in situations where they have to lean on him, which can only cause problems. And the Panthers defense is actually really good.
Yeah.
And their secondary is really good. So I just got this feeling that they're going to lean on Geno because they have to. And Geno's going to show us who he truly is. And you can't lean on Geno.
The crazy part is too of this. One, Seattle has to win this game. This is an NFC matchup. They got to win. And Carolina, which is mind blowing to me, is not dead in the NFC South. So this game's more competitive than you think. Like you look at the Vegas number, and I almost fell out of my chair, and then I dug in more and was like, wow, like this may be like a fairly decent game. So I like that as kind of as an afternoon hammer stack there.
Hey,
going down a little bit.
I love the contrarian. If that's a word.
I mean, are we all just going to line up and play BCB? Do it?
I'm going to take a flyer on one, but I'm not big on him this week.
I think this game might be like 9-3.
I still think Tampa's D is pretty respectable.
No, not just respectable. They're a really good defense.
It is, but it is still a pass funnel.
It is.
Okay. So I'm not going to go all in on Brock. I would actually like getting to Sam Darnold
Yeah.
at 5,200.
Carolina, baby.
Look, we've seen Sam Darnold play this year. He's going to force the ball and push the ball down the field.
Yeah.
I mean, it's if you're a DJ Moore owner, you're ecstatic that Baker's gone and that this guy's now going to push the ball down the field a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
At 5,200, the run back options are so easy for Seattle. I mean, I think that you just have to get some exposure to it because I think that, even if you are of the mind like Joey and I, that Carolina is going to beat up on Seattle a little bit. I mean, let's be honest. It's still going to be like a 28-19, something like that. I mean, they're not going to hold them to like 10 points or under, right? So you can play the run back. I don't know. I think Sam Darnold's not good, but, I've got some interest in him.
I think Ryan Tannehill is interesting this week, at least to take a look at. I think he's playing better than people are seeing. I know the last 2 weeks he hasn't been getting the end zone because they really, they got torched 1 week and then Derrick Henry does the rest. But all it takes is Derrick Henry not getting 2 of those touchdowns and Tannehill doing it instead, and all of a sudden Tannehill's a 25-point plus guy. I just think at 5,200 against a team like Jacksonville that's going to give up points, it's something we probably should not ignore.
Yeah, I see your thought process there. The only reason I'm not is Treylon Burks isn't playing.
Yeah.
And they already don't have any weapons. So it's like,
I think what I'm looking for more in Tannehill is they get inside the 10, they got the play action. Derrick Henry's not getting it. He gets a QB sneak and maybe he pops 2 to tight ends. You know what I mean? He's a guy you can run naked with. I get
Derrick
Henry, and
I get it from I get it from a leverage perspective because it is
like a big GPP. If you go Tannehill, Henry, and then Hooper, you know, and that hits that's a huge one, and there's a lot of opportunity for it. Jacksonville's defense is not good.
Yeah. I think I would rather just play Kenny Pickett at 5,200 versus Moore's absolutely horrific defense. If I'm going to take a shot there, or go to Sam Darnold.
The other name
that Pittsburgh's offense.
Well, the other name that I'll give you here that I have interest in,
great.
Pay $300 more, just play Tyler Huntley, who I'm going to have some of.
No, thank you.
Yeah, no thanks.
He's actually a fairly decent backup who will run.
No, he's not. His only upside, Vinnie, is that he runs the ball a little bit.
He was 27-32 last week versus Denver's defense. And now, if you want to tell me that Denver's D is amazing, that's a pretty good stat. If you think they're overrated, then why aren't we playing Patrick Mahomes this week? No one's playing Mahomes because Denver's D is legit. Yet this guy still put up 17 DraftKings points last week.
But 17 DraftKings points is not going to win you anything.
Okay, but Sam Darnold's not going over 20.
Yes, he is. That's why I'm playing him. I think he is.
All right, I'll go heads up. I'm going heads up bet with you here. That
I want to side bet
Sam
here.
Darnold.
Yes, come on. What are we betting?
That's fine.
I don't know. We'll come up with something. Think about it, but by the end of the pod, we'll have a laid
why wouldn't you pay $100 more and just play Jared Goff?
Darnold versus Hunt.
Yeah. The thing is, again, I'm seeing 2% ownership versus 15 for Goff.
Make sure you message us on Twitter. Who would you rather have, Sam Darnold or Tyler?
I'll put that out there. But I just think Huntley has rushing ability. He's the same type of quarterback as Lamar. You've got a clear option with Andrews. Pittsburgh's pass D has been weak, so we don't have to beat a dead horse. But I'm playing some Tyler Huntley.
I will have 0% Tyler Huntley and feel very good about it.
I'm not going to be doing this, but I see why. But projections wise, the person that has one of the highest points per dollar this week is Russell Wilson.
No.
And the reasoning is because they're going to lose by 4 touchdowns, and he's just going to be hucking and chucking it. He's priced all the way down at 5,100.
He can't throw the ball.
No, it's pretty bad. But he's got the highest point projection. It's for points per dollar. It baffled me when I saw it this morning.
He does. I don't know if I can do it. I just you got no Cortland Sutton. KJ Hamler's now out for the rest of the year.
Dude,
Like,
I honestly just look at it
I
that
just-
the 3% of the field that's playing him, just chop that off the GPP you're playing. They're not going to win. So, like, whatever. I'm not concerned with that at all.
Amazing. All right, let's cap that off for quarterbacks. Let's go into running backs. Vinny will lead off here. Let's go up high. Let's just say above 7,300, 7K up.
Oh, man. All right. Well, I mean, I think we know who the obvious guy is, but I'm going to give a contrarian here a little bit. I'm going to go Christian McCaffrey. He's going to be too important in this matchup for them, for the Niners to win this game. Like, they're not going to, like, just sit back and, put the whole weight of the game on Brock Purdy's shoulders. I don't think. McCaffrey may see 10, 12 targets like in this game. He's already seen that, right? Like, what was he, 28 DraftKings points last week?
Yep.
I just think he's like, his upside is huge and his floor is huge in this matchup. So I know Tampa's D is not like someone you really want to mess with, but
dude, he's going to get 10 catches.
Tampa's D is just not very good.
They're not horrible, but they're not. Their linebackers scare me more than anything, but still, like McCaffrey catching the ball, there's not many people that can run with him. So I'll pay up. I think he's going to be about 12% owned, 11%, which is, not that bad. So I'll roll some dice on.
What do you guys think about Saquon? Is it just pure rat poison about his little neck injury he has?
I'm not playing him.
Are you eating the rat poison?
If he's active, I'll play him because Philly's defense is not very good.
Their run defense has suffered since Davis.
But Davis he was back last week, and you saw Derrick Henry get his ass shut down.
The reason why I'm playing Saquon is the same reason why I'm playing McCaffrey. Yeah. I mean,
everything goes through him.
I just think the Giants, like, they have one tire that's fallen off the bus, and like that thing's coming.
And Dave all knows if they want to stay in this game, it goes through Barkley. Like, if you lean on Daniel Jones for the game, like Philly will just run away with it. 100%. Then the game's out of your hands. So I can see Barkley getting a ton of carries. If he's
100%.
I'm personally not playing that. Obviously Henry's going to be massive chalk. Who I love.
Well, doesn't King Henry just have insane stats against the Jaguars in general?
Yeah, he lights them up.
He has like 2,000 yards in like the last 4 games.
He's usually always the guy too. After he busts like he just did, is when he absolutely smashes the entire slate, which is why everybody's on him.
So you gotta eat that. You gotta eat that. If he's like 35% of the field and he hits points,
what are we doing? What are we doing with the Chubber? Sandwiched in between Cook in an amazing situation and Henry in an amazing situation at 4%.
So I think, Jim, that's like my answer to the why I'm not playing Saquon. Like, I'll play Henry in my contrarian stacks, and then in my like chalkier builds, like if I'm going to stack that like Minnesota game, I'll try to get Chubb in there.
Dude,
different.
I just think Nick Chubb is like Wendell Brown from Varsity Blues to Kevin Stefanski. Like, he gets the ball, he averages 5-6 yards a carry, and then they get inside the 20, and they're like, okay, we're just going to let everyone else get the ball. Like, he does not like giving Nick Chubb the ball when it's time to score. Like, Nick Chubb is almost in like Dameon Pierce territory. I think he's the best running back in the NFL, and he has to score from 20 out.
Yeah.
Every time. It's an insane thing. Stefanski just does not give him the ball in the red zone.
To me, the scarier part is like, with Mr. Massage back in the mix, like he was in a smash spot versus Houston last week. That offense looked atrocious. Like, what do they do?
I don't think
like
is
Watson going to be playing more hero ball, trying to like get going, and it just cuts Chubb out? Like, I don't know, man.
Stefanski's play calling is really bad.
I'll still play
Chubb. It's week in, week out, and it's just like that team would be so much better with the.
Are you on Dalvin at all this week?
Yes, that's the guy that if we're gonna eat the chalk from up there, that's where I'm going.
Minnesota,
it's not super chalky either.
Minnesota at this point is playing for that home field advantage in the playoffs, which is highly coveted with that bye week. So I think it's time they start ramping Cook up.
It's a division game,
man. Dude. You're still seeing 20 carries a game the last 2.
No, that's what I mean. They're starting to ramp him up,
and he's producing, right? So I'll. At 15 to 17% owned, I'll go to him over, Tony Pollard at a little bit cheaper, but in the mid 20 ownership. That I mean, who knows what could happen in that fucking game?
Like, I'll be honest with you, I'll play Dalvin Cook over Joe Mixon this week.
I like that.
Dude, I'm nervous. P. Ryan has looked freaking good. And this team already liked him. I'm not saying it's going to be a 50-50 split, but like P. Ryan's not going to get like just stuck on the bench here.
No, and we've seen it when guys come back from injury, especially 2 weeks off from a concussion. They're not going to give you the full workload. And are you yourself yet? You got to get back up to game speed. Maybe next week, but not this week for Mixon.
Well, I mean, I think that, they also have some designs on making the playoffs, right? And they're trying to keep Mixon a little healthy. And if they can unload some of that onto P. Ryan, then they will.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, I'll play Dalvin up there. I think he's my guy from that upper echelon.
Sixes.
Yes, in the sixes. Let's go 64 to like 56.
Well, real quick, one guy that I'm going to have a ton of is Tony Pollard. I'm just going to keep playing him. He's just too good, man.
I actually might just play Zeke this week.
I'm going to have him too. And I may have lineups with both. Like, they're just going to pound Houston on the ground, I think.
They're going to still throw the ball a little bit. We'll get to it when we get to wide receivers. I think Michael Gallup is a sneaky, explosion play.
Can be really sneaky. But both of these guys have gone over 15 points together the last freaking couple weeks, and now they get a great matchup.
The shared backfield thing, you just I don't know. You're
I get it. It's not great, but
who's going to get the touchdowns?
I know.
I would prefer to take a shot on playing Miles Sanders at 6,200, who's
not a bad call.
Just nobody's talking about
more and more volume. You can play, if you don't want to play AJ Brown, or if you do want to play AJ Brown, you can play the quarterback Sanders and AJ Brown, and then just kind of move on your way. Or you could play Hurts and Sanders, and then just go that way too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just not really about I don't love the Cowboys split thing. It can definitely work. I'm just not they're just love with it.
No, it's fine for the team. It's not great for what we're doing.
Yeah, they're probably just going to pound Houston, but it's how is it going to happen? Obviously it's risky, but it's a good spot. What do you get? I mean, anybody else in the sixes you guys like? Because I have a question mark in the high fives.
Well, I mean, if we're going down, we're talking from 64 to 56. I mean, I'm just going to go right back to DeAndre Swift.
So
he's gaining ownership. I don't really care. He's a guy that I'm just going to play quite a bit of this week. I told you guys last week that he was going to go. He got 21. He's getting more and more. And if Williams wasn't getting these 1 yard touchdowns, he'd literally be scoring 8 to 7 points a week.
Yeah.
So apparently this guy's completely healthy now. I mean, Williams, even with his 11 attempts and his little goal line carry, only got 9.5 points last week.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gone off a cliff, and they're still going to give him the ball a little bit, but in a game that's going to be a shootout, DeAndre Swift is a guy in there handling all that passing down work. Goff loves to check the ball down. This is the one guy I really don't care what ownership is, because at 5,800, he is a legitimate shot to get me 23 to 28 points this week.
Yeah, at that price, it's a good play for sure.
What about you in the high fives?
I have a little interest in Isaiah Pacheco. Again, he's becoming kind of the main guy there. I'm a little bit nervous, depending on the game script, but I just think the Denver defense is going to have to commit everyone else to try to stop Mahomes, right? And if that happens, Pacheco easily is going to get 15 to 20 touches here.
I just hate that. I like Pacheco. I played him last week. He did well. But they have a package on the goal line that exclusively features McKinnon.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they run it 2 to 3 times a game when they get in there inside the 10-yard line, and it's McKinnon's time to shine.
Yeah.
And Pacheco's nowhere to be found. So that bothers the hell out of me that McKinnon is Reed's goal line guy.
Yeah.
They're weird special plays,
They're scoring about the same amount of points per game right now. So until their pricing comes closer together, I'll just keep playing McKinnon at 4,600 instead of Pacheco at 5,700.
That makes sense.
It's not that I don't like Pacheco.
Yeah.
But McKinnon plays in the 4-minute drill, the 2-minute drill, special goal line packages. Like
Right.
he's a guy that, again, I don't know why, Kyle Shanahan couldn't make use of him, and he was just perpetually hurt, but he goes to somewhere else and he's magically okay.
Yeah.
I don't get it. But
I mean,
so
I have some
that's
other guys in the mid fives.
Yep.
Donta
Foreman, baby.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great spot.
100%.
Hammer.
I'll
Like,
have
I'm
a
playing
bunch of
so
him.
much Carolina defense with Donta Foreman running back.
He just runs the ball so hard and
Yeah.
he's so difficult to tackle. And the one thing, if you look at Seattle's defense this year, they can't tackle for
Nope.
shit. And this is a guy that's just he's showing he's gotten an opportunity, and he's using this year to showcase how he can run the ball game after game. And at 8 to 9% for a guy who's really going to get 85 to 90% of the carries at 5,400 against a bad defense. Like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, dude, I'm playing him in literally about 90% of my lineups.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those,
I'm starting my builds with like Carolina D, Foreman at running back, and then I build from there.
It's just one of those like free squares where you just kind of have to like, okay, this guy's getting this volume at this price. Like, he should be the type of ownership that Swift is.
Yeah.
But everyone's in love with Swift in the passing game, which I am too. But like, if you wanted to play some premium wide receivers this week, there's no reason why you couldn't go Swift and Foreman and then go ahead.
Well, I'm going to give you another name that's right next to him, and I'm going to be playing some Rachaad White this week.
Oh.
The reasoning is, one, Fat Lenny is banged up. Like, we know he's not going to be ready to play for a couple weeks.
Always hurt.
But Rachaad White is involved in the passing game, very similar to the McCaffrey side of it. Like, dude, he's seen 8 targets and 9 targets the last 2 games.
For sure.
He is Brady's outlet. Think of James White, like in New England.
Yep.
Like, this is a guy you can't run the ball versus the Niners, but he can have 8 to 10 targets here, and definitely get there from that.
He's the type of guy that will give the Niners problems, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a smaller, faster, lateral movement guy that the Niners just don't do great at, right? If you go back and look at the type of game that like a McCole Hardman had against the Niners, and
so that's what I'm thinking. Like, I was just going to hit on that. The Chiefs decimated the Niners in this screen game.
Yep.
Bet your ass Brady is going to come out and screen the hell out of these guys to try to slow Bosa down and these guys. Like, again, White could have 8 to 12 catches in this game easily, and he hits value just on that alone. So I'm going to be playing some Rachaad White right there for sure.
All right. My last guy, I really like Gus Edwards this week. He let a lot of people down last week. Only 6 carries, but Denver was putting like 9 in the box against Lamar and Huntley, and Baltimore just abandoned the run last week, and they let Huntley just throw the ball like hell, and that's what
because
Huntley's
elite.
Yeah, let's keep going with that. So, but Gus has gotten the ball over 15 times in 2 of his 4 starts this year, so I can see Gus actually getting a ton of carries this week. Not having Lamar ball hogging, right? And Gus can get us a touchdown or 2 at 5,200. I think it's a sneaky play, and he let a lot of people down last week with low ownership. So,
Jim, do you have anyone? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just McKinnon at 4,600. I also don't mind now that he's going to be healthy going back to Michael Carter in a game where the Jets are most likely, I guess, not certainly, nothing certain, going to be trailing.
Yeah.
He's 100% healthy. He's the guy that like knows the pass blocking schemes. Zonovan Knight, or whatever the hell his name is. They gave him a shot last week. I mean, you go back and look at some of the highlights, and he's missing pass blocking assignments and things like that. And it's just like I don't know. But so in a
Michael
game
Carter's coming back this week too.
Yeah, he's 100. He's not on the injury report.
No.
So Zonovan Knight, good try, but no thanks.
Moving on to receivers.
Real quick, the only other guy that I'm going to be playing some down here in my $4,600 guy is James Cook. He's definitely cutting into the Singletary workload here and becoming a part of this offense, and I'm going to be playing him.
I don't know. It's one thing to be in a shared backfield. It's another thing to be in a mediocre shared backfield.
But again, at 4,600, dude, I mean, he's getting 6 to 7 targets a game. He had 14 carries last game. Like,
yeah, but is he going to outscore McKinnon?
He could. I mean, Denver, like what? If the Chiefs go 14-0, that game's over. Russ ain't scoring 14 points. So, like, I don't know what that game's going to look like.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fair point, but I don't know.
Mr. Unlimited is Mr. Limited on the old passing game there. So,
okay, let's go on to receivers.
Let's do
Getting a little sick to my stomach talking about these running backs in the 5K range.
We were talking about running backs in the 4 range. If you wanted,
yeah, I stopped listening. Okay, so
real nice.
So with receivers this week, I'm going low at running back this week in my strategy, and I'm going to get Jefferson, Brown, and Chase in as many lineups as possible. And if I get all 3 of them in the same lineup, I'm fucking in. I have a feeling this is going to be an air attack week.
That's probably doable. I mean, it's definitely doable, I think.
I think it's doable. I think if you needed to in that same game, you could go from Jefferson to St. Brown.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Just do some savings. There's a lot of different options. You can go from Brown down to Devontae Smith, Chase down to Higgins. I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff you can do in those games.
Yeah, I don't necessarily like those flips as much as I like the Jefferson to St. Brown just because of the volume that he's getting. He's kind of, for me, on another level, and I think that he should probably be priced up a little bit. And he is, I mean, I think he is one of the top 3 matchups this week, just based on volume. And then the Vikings defense, man, I mean, Mac Jones threw for 382 yards with the idiot scientists calling their offense. I mean, like
Minnesota is surviving off of red zone turnovers.
Yes.
But they're giving up a ton of yards. They're getting worked.
Yeah. I mean, just let that sink in. Mac Jones threw for 382 yards against them.
That's how much he has the entire season.
I mean, so the Detroit Lions actually have a functioning offense with somebody who like has experience calling plays, not just like playing Madden and then watching Josh McDaniels, who's not the greatest play caller, call plays for the last like 12 years.
That's
so. Yeah. That's my, if you're looking for a salary savings up top, that's where I would be going.
Yeah, but there's also a chance Jefferson just goes nuclear.
I want as much Justin Jefferson as possible.
He's like the one guy I don't want to drop out of those 3. If there's anyone I'm dropping, I think it's AJ Brown down to Devontae Smith.
I would agree there. We've got some interesting guys in the like from DK like down to like Debo. Who's your guys' one favorite out of that range?
I still love Christian Kirk week in and week out.
Yeah,
he just gets volume. He has a solid floor. He's cheap and he can also boom. Yeah. So I think Kirk is one of the best plays on the board, typically week in and week out. Him and Zay Jones.
Yeah, I'm probably going to lean to Chris Godwin here, similar to the White play. Like, I just think with the Niners pass rush, Brady's going to be trying to get that ball out of his hands quickly. The strength of the Niners, if you're going to give it to him, is like the outside corner with Money Brown. So I think Godwin is the guy who reaps the benefit there in that range.
He is their screen receiver as well.
I think that if you're going to pick a receiver out of that game, the guy who's been very quiet, who's the deep threat, it's Mike Evans. And the Niners, they have their biggest issue, right? I like Godwin, but he gets the ball so close to the line of scrimmage. The Niners secondary and their safeties are so good at tackling and closing so quick on those guys. If he was a little bit faster, Godwin, I would probably be a little bit more into that. But in that game specifically, the Niners blow coverages 3 to 4 times a game. Brady's the one guy that can really take advantage of that. And he's just, no one is going to want to play Mike Evans.
Yeah, no, he's a really sneaky play. I mean, 2% owned. Like,
smashed right in between Lockett, which people are going to want to play. Not like a ton, but Devonta Smith right underneath him again.
Love Devonta this week.
I do too. and so does everybody else, right?
Yep.
I just think that Mike Evans is a guy that from this range, I am going to prioritize playing wherever possible because of that reason. And just because the Niners defense is so good against the run, it's not a secret. Like they're going to throw the ball, and Brady, I think, is going to be excited about that challenge.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Is this a Debo boom week?
Yep. I'm
Could
glad you brought it up.
6,100. I mean, come on. Tampa Bay's defense scares people, but Debo scares everybody. And he's got a Brock Purdy going in there. I think there's going to be a lot of design, little quick screens and plays to Debo to get him across the field. This could be an absolute smash. And all we really need is one or two big plays from Debo.
Mm-hmm.
And he's always good for that one big play every once in a while. And this could be the week.
So again,
I think the thing that was encouraging too is he had 10 targets with Purdy last week.
Yep.
Right?
And he has no injury designation for like the first time in his career.
Yeah.
So like, again, hear me out. You guys love McCaffrey. You guys love Debo. And you love them both because of the passing game upside that they
you got Ayuk, baby.
No,
Purdy.
Purdy.
BCB.
Oh.
I'm with you.
But Ayuk's a great play too.
Ayuk is a fine play, but those throws that Ayuk was thriving on down the field, that's the Jimmy special.
Yeah.
That like 15 to 25 to 30 yards down the field where he can catch the ball and then run with it a little bit. I mean, that is the Jimmy special right there. Yep. And until Brock, I think Brock can make those throws, obviously, but until that he gets a little bit more comfortable in the offense, Shanahan is the most conservative play caller on the goddamn planet. He's not going to put Brock Purdy in a situation to do those. I love Ayuk as a player. I think he's an interesting play, especially because he's so low owned. But if Debo's only a couple $100 more and like he's just getting those opportunities, I think that's where you kind of have to go. Like I'm with you guys this week.
Yeah, I'm loving Debo.
Going down, one of my favorite plays this week is going to be a sub looking like 8% Gabe Davis sit there at 5,300.
Yeah. Been priced up all year.
I got to imagine they're going to put Sauce on Diggs. I'm not saying Diggs is going to get shut down, but Sauce is maybe the first or second best corner in the league already.
So, I mean, he doesn't travel.
I get it. Yeah.
But they do run Davis out of the slot a bunch.
I think
he's one of those spike players where he's inconsistent week to week. He did okay, got a touchdown last week.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's due for another one of those massive games. And the Jets have a proclivity to give up those big plays in their secondary. Outside of Sauce, there's not really a whole lot. Their safeties are not very good, and the deep middle is where they do like to attack with Gabe Davis. So I'm with you there.
I could very much see
proclivity.
A tendency, a likeness. Do you want me to pull?
I was asking that. I was asking
Write
that
that
for
down.
the fan. I was asking that for the fans.
I just see a few broken plays potentially here where Gabe is just flying down the seam or something, and it's freaking game over. So, what about fours and bargain bin, our favorite?
Well, I really like Tyler Boyd this week at 5K. I think it's another Tyler Boyd week.
Man, I just can't ever get him right. But all right,
I know. But I called my shot on him earlier this year.
You did.
So here we go again.
I'm not going to play Thielen. He looks like Grandpa Simpson out there trying to play.
Well, they're just not really getting him the ball either.
Dude, and he's going to be part of the offense. He's going to be revved up to 15-20% ownership. Like, no. I'll just
no thanks on that. Like I said, I think Gallup is a good spot this week. He's a guy coming back from injury a little bit. Like if they're gonna just be beating the hell out of Houston, he's a guy where they'll let CeeDee Lamb kind of take a little bit of a breather. But Gallup's a guy that'll play the whole game, even if they're up by 35 points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
right? He'll then become the main X receiver, and he'll get the benefit of that. At 4,600, I think it's a good little gamble to take.
Jamison Williams, 4,400. He played last week. He was on special teams. He got about 8 snaps on offense. They were probably just testing him out, make sure the knee feels okay for a week after some action. There is at least 20 plays 20 plays we're getting from Jameson Williams this week where they're going to target him at least once or twice down the field.
They came out and said they need to.
So
he's
there's
going to
at
be
least
sub 1%
plays
in that game.
Yep, and there's at least 20 plays where he's on the field specifically designed for the pass.
Yeah, I think it's a good gamble.
Let's fucking go.
I'm
just excited to do it. That's an exciting gamble that I'm willing to lose money on.
I think an early bold call for me, in like 70-80% of my lineups, I'm going to have either Jameson Williams or DJ Chark. And just take the flyer down low and hope one of them absolutely just catches an 80-yard touchdown.
And the only thing is, I think Chark, if he's part of the game script, gets those 6 to 7 catches, while Jameson Williams gets that one deep ball you're talking about.
Either way, you can get there. I'm just saying, like, it's exposure to this game in the 4Ks that are going to be like less than 5% owned. Like, everyone can have Adam Thielen. I'll play one of these guys over.
Hell yeah!
So I can't wait to talk about my weird $3,000 receiver.
Oh, I got one.
We're getting there.
It's probably the same
patient.
guy. I hope it is.
Stay patient.
Dude, I really don't have too much in between the 3,000. I'll play a little maybe Isaiah McKenzie, but that's it after Jameson Williams. So
I'm never playing Eli Moore again.
I mean, I think
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll play Corey Davis over Eli. But
Eli Moore is a bag of dicks.
Okay. Well, I think I've got some interest in Terrence Marshall. Think he's a fine play if you're going down that low.
Yeah.
I think that Hinton at 3,400, just because you've got no Hamler, you've got no Sutton. Sutton's already been ruled out for the game. Mr. Unlimited is going to try and have to do something, and Hinton is the guy that's like this quick, fast guy that they get the ball to around the line of scrimmage. So
God, I love that nickname so much. All right, Jim, lay it on us at 3K. I hope it's the same guy I have written down.
Philip Dorsett?
Yeah, let's go.
I mean, like literally everybody. Nico, I was excited to play Nico Collins this week. He has some like random injury that like he's now out.
They just picked up some guy from like Foot Locker to play.
You know what I pictured today is when that injuries came out was like the receiver, like Nico Collins saw Brandon Cooks go out and then saw the spread of this game and was like Rodney Dangerfield and Caddyshack. It was just, my arm, I can't play. And they were like, oh shit, okay, I guess we're rolling Philip Dorsett out. And
yeah, I mean,
like Chris Moore.
He didn't have an injury designation. Collins didn't on Tuesday, and then all of a sudden Wednesday he was questionable. Now Friday he's out.
I think he like hurt himself on purpose.
He's like, nah, dog, not for me.
I am with you though on Dorsett, dude.
Yep.
It's just such a low risk move. Like,
well, they're going to be thrown from behind. Like he's going to get targets.
Like he's only 6% owned right now. He should be like close to 20%.
This is one that like I'm predicting it now. He could have like 0 points going into like the halfway through the third and then finish with like 12 to 14. Because if Dallas pulls Diggs and some of these guys up like 30 to 7 or something, like he could just see a ton of targets in the fourth quarter. Mean,
I'm starting Dorsett in one of my season-long leagues this week.
I like
it. Out of flex because like, why not?
Yep.
You know,
and that 3K, if you go 3K Dorsett in a cheap tight end, which we'll talk about, dude, it opens up a lot in your lineup.
You can do really whatever you want.
Yeah. So I'm with you there, man. How are you guys feeling? Have you been keeping up with the trimmings lately? Been keeping up with the groomings heading into the holidays, Christmas parties around the corner?
I apologize. Joe? I have not this past week.
Well, you've been inside, not able to leave the house. So
yeah, I feel like I'm going. Actually, you're the first people I've actually talked to in about 8 days. This is actually starting to lose my mind a little bit.
So this is this is a great time, Joe, where you can really dive back into that, platinum package 4.0. You can get the landscape, 4.0 back at the lawnmower. You can get the weed whacker. You can get the ball toner. You can, make yourself feel like a human being, right? You're probably not going to need any ball toner, but look, you just make yourself feel like a human, right? You can play a little holiday music. think about some holiday gifts, buy some stocking stuffers or something.
Maybe throw Die Hard on in the background. I had my my Christmas party yesterday, and it was perfect timing. In the mail came my foot spray, so I didn't have to worry about the stinky dogs there at the party. So it was good timing. But yeah,
I mean, look, best. You guys got Hanukkah coming up. You know, you got the 8 crazy nights. You get Vinnie. You get Vinnie, a couple of extra things that he might need. Vin's a big sweater, so you get him some more deodorant. It all works out. You go to manscaped.com, you enter the code ZONE20. It's so easy. You get 20% off plus free shipping anywhere in the world, right? So if you're in the trenches over in Qatar, watching the World Cup, you can't find a good quality, really chemical-based great thing that'll keep you smelling fresh the whole time while you're sweating it out over there. Hit up manscaped.com, right? You're trying to play a little fantasy. You're listening to us. We know we got listeners all over the world. This code works wherever you are. It's
exactly
Zone20, manscaped.com, free shipping, 20% off. You go take advantage of it, and you'll be all good to go.
Exactly. Tight ends. Our man Dancing Rick Dulcich is coming in at 25% owned.
Easy. It'll be the easiest fade of the entire year. This guy fucking sucks.
Okay, come on. I'm not ready to go there.
He sucks.
Vinnie. He has a guy throwing medicine balls out of the backfield, so I'm not willing to go there, but I'm with you. He's not a good play. So can we just settle on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, fuck Dancing Rick. I'll never play him again.
All right, okay. Outside of that, who do we like? I mean, I obviously don't need to talk about Travis Kelce. Probably don't need to talk about Mark Andrews outside of the fact that he's coming in at like 2% owned. What do you guys like?
How about some Jack Stoll?
Jack Stoll is not one I had on my bingo card over here.
2,800. He's tight end 1 with the Eagles with Goddard out one more week. All we're looking for at 2,800 is 1 measly touchdown or 4 or 5 measly 7-yard catches, and we're good to go.
All right. Well,
that offense is really potent. So
I will
Jack
give
Stoll
you
might have some opportunities.
The guy that you're going to want to pair with your Ryan Tannehill stacks here is Chiggy Bang Bang Chig Okarano, the tight end, who's been dominating for this team.
I don't think that's how you say it.
I don't know how to say the last name, but Chig at tight end here. Dude, he's seeing like 5-6 targets a game for Tennessee. Like at 2,700, just play that guy. You don't need to play Jack Stoll.
Yeah, you're right.
It's if you know how to read English, which you can't, it's Okonkwo, but okay.
That's what I said.
No,
probably not even pronounced like that.
Rewind the tape. Rewind the tape.
You definitely did say that.
You can fucking take the Pepsi challenge.
Well, you didn't give me any credit for the cool nickname, how I came in hot like Chitty Bang Bang. So what?
Well, yeah, then you finished it with the wrong last
name. I don't know why you guys are talking about playing these fucking losers in terrible situations.
I just leaned into going right into because Joe's playing Ryan Tannehill. I'm trying to help him out a little bit.
Well,
yeah,
that's
you come up with every
I'm
excuse
not playing,
you want for bringing.
I'm not playing Ryan Tannehill. I'm not playing.
Jack Stoll.
I'm not playing Jack Stoll. I'm not playing
7 points last week.
You guys have been talking about Debo, and we talked about McCaffrey. I don't know what happened with George Kittle's price tag, but at 4,300, I'm going to have quite a bit of him this week.
That was going to be the first one I was going to go to, because
Joe went to the bargain bin. Okay, don't call me out. I
like too many high end receivers this week, so I really have to bargain for that.
Well, that's fine. Then play Daniel Bellinger at 3,300. He's somebody who's actually viable.
I'm going to need to go all the way down to. I need that $500, Jim.
Or
Jack Stoll or bust.
3,100.
I don't know, man. 2,800 Jack Stoll.
Oh my god! All right,
I need every dollar this week. I'm really having a hard time.
Don't do that, people, if you can. But
that is not an advisable play. I think that TJ Hawk.
Fuck you. When Jack Stoll catches a touchdown, I'm going to explode.
Look, dude, I'll be happier than anybody because I have fucking Jack Stoll starting in one of my season long lineups because I had fucking what's his face who he replaced.
Goddard, exactly.
Yes. Okay, so I'll be happy.
Not ideal.
I just can't advise that.
All right, let's get back on track here, okay?
So I like
everyone listening. I
think
advise Jack Stoll.
Hawkinson, Freiermuth,
Hawkinson,
Kittle, those three in that like 51 to 4,300 range are probably my favorite plays of the week. Dulcich, you might as well just eliminate him from the whole player pool.
At that ownership.
I mean, at 2% owned, I'm not playing fucking Dancing Rick. Daniel Bellinger at 3,300, he's back. Second week healthy. He was a guy that everyone was in love with before this happened. Now they're going to be in a passing situation. New York really doesn't have anyone to throw the ball to. They run the Darius Slayton will throw it deep 3 times a game and then throw it to fucking Saquon, and that's about it. Daniel Bellinger, he's averaging 7.5 targets a game. I mean, I don't know why that you wouldn't go back to that at 3,300. I mean, sign me up.
Yeah, the only other guy that I have on my list here, he's just kind of in a weird, funky spot. So if that's the way the price lands, is I'll play some David Njoku at 3,900. He's a good player. He's a good talent. Like I'll play that. Like
he is very talented
versus whoever the guys Joey's playing.
Yeah, so. I would much rather stay down there and play
Stoll is about to shove a football right up your ass this week.
Well, how much Jack Stoll are you playing, Joey?
I don't know. Got him in this lineup. Looks good.
Okay, well that's one lineup.
Sounds good right now.
The way you're talking about him, you think it sounds like you're just putting the lock button. You play him in every single lineup you play.
No, you guys just shit on him so much that I have to go hard now.
Well, let's figure this out because that's all I'm playing at tight end. What about defenses? Because I think there's a lot of value here at defense this week.
I mean, for me, you already know where Joey and I are playing.
My flag is planted.
Yeah, it's the Panthers at 2,200. I don't really – I mean, make a case for somebody else. Maybe the Steelers because Tyler Huntley is fucking terrible.
Negative, sir. I will not be playing a ton of them. But I'll play the Jets. Playing Buffalo, dude. I just don't see a ceiling game coming from Buffalo here. Josh Allen's been turning the ball over. I think the Jets are going to give him some issues, man. Their defense is no joke.
I just don't see your justification for spending $300 more on the Jets.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, are you just locking the Panthers into every lineup?
Almost. There's no reason. If there's no reason to spend more, then why am I spending more on defense?
And the Panthers' defense is last season and this season, they get defensive touchdowns.
I get it.
That's just they got an insane secondary. The talent back there is insane.
Yeah. No, it's a fair point. I have a little interest in the Niners, and I have a little interest in Dallas.
I have very little interest in the Niners just because Brady's a statue.
You said, wait, you have very little interest because he is a statue?
Well, I mean,
That's why I'm playing him.
Well, yes, that's the only reason why I would have interest. But I mean, I'm coming from the perspective right now where I'm playing 99% of Carolina.
That's fair. Okay. Like
Carolina had a higher chance of getting a defensive touchdown this week than the Niners do against Brady, right? The Niners have high floor because Brady's going to take like 4 sacks where he just falls when he feels Bosa coming, but he's not going to throw a pick 6. Whereas Geno Smith absolutely will.
That's true. Like I'm not trying to argue against the Panthers. I'm going to have a lot of them. I'm just saying, I think it's bad offensive line, a statue back there. I know he's Tom Brady, but like, dude, they're going to get to him.
I think that you're either going to play, the Panthers at 2,200, or you're going to go all the way up and play the Bills or the Chiefs
or Dallas.
No, because I just excuse me.
I feel like that's the same situation as the Niners.
Yeah,
you're getting a high sack upside, but are they really Houston going to really do anything that's outrageous that causes a pick 6 or a defense?
Yeah, I mean Dallas is fine,
they're
but
really bad.
I mean, just playing the chalk is just something that I just won't do.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, cool. I think we're all pretty clear here. Like, we all like the Panthers.
And I just want to let everyone know that I did get a lineup together that has Chase, Jefferson, and AJ Brown in it.
Well, I'm curious to see that because I just was playing around with it and it looks quite.
It was tough. This is why I was arguing for Jack Stoll so bad.
Who's your quarterback? I'm just curious about.
So here's the lineup. No, it's the lineup.
Don't give the whole thing. Give like 90% of it.
Okay, so we got the bargain binners. Bargain binners. We got Goff, Foreman, McKinnon, Jameson Williams, Jack Stoll.
Okay.
You can get weird.
I mean, I personally,
I guess that makes sense if you get into that $1,400-$600 back.
I have $100 remaining salary here.
I'm personally looking at the lineup, and I would rather go all the way down to Philip Dorsett for my wide receiver instead of Williams, so I could upgrade Stoll.
Yeah, but the Jameson Williams thing really gets me going.
Okay, well then that's fine. But I mean, I think that I think you can maximize that type of lineup a little bit more by playing
I'll
Dorsett.
do you one better. I'm going to build another lineup and do exactly that.
Okay.
Yeah, or you can upgrade McKinnon up to like your boy Gus Edwards, or
I'll do you one better. I'll build a third lineup and I'll do that.
Okay. All right. What do we like? What's your top 2 stacks you're going with this week?
Top 2. All right. Well, my number 1 stack this week is Cincinnati. Line up Joe Burrow, Chase, T. Higgins, Boyd, Mixon, interchange the 4 of them all over the place. I love it.
Vinnie?
Right. Is that 2 or is that just 1?
That was just
we'll go round robin.
Yeah.
We'll cannonball it. We'll cannonball it.
All right.
Cannonball coming in.
I'm going Seattle. I just think this opportunity is big. I still think there's a way for Carolina's defense to get there. Seattle to put up a ton of points. Carolina to keep points up. This game could get really weird, and I like that. So,
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Jumbo.
I'm toying between 2 right now.
I mean, you love the Vikings. We know everybody loves the Vikings.
So I'll go with that. And I'll just I'll just combine that whole game. I think that's probably my favorite situation. Whether you go Goff or Kirk, but I have a second one that I can talk about out of that. I really like playing the Kirk side because I could play Kirk, Jefferson, Hawkinson, and I can run back with Swift and St. Brown. That's particularly the best way I like doing it. You get a full 5-person stack. I think that game is going to get up into the 70 to 80 point range total. So if you're out there wagering as well, 51.5 is wildly low total for that game. So I think it'll get upwards of 56 to 57 by game time. Go bet it now if you want to bet it.
And this is that spot you always talk about, Jim, too, like for a game that has high potential that's going to be highly owned. If you're going to do it, go all in and game stack it. Like just go 100%. Overboard on it. So I like that. Joe, pick 2.
It's tough because the Minnesota, Detroit were my 2 and 3. So I'll go Cincinnati.
You can go with them. It's all right.
Detroit, then Minnesota, my top 3. And then my 4th is tough. I would say I don't want to step on your guys' toes. We'll just talk about it. It's the Niners. So my 4 stack is the Niners.
All right.
Brock Purdy, Debo, McCaffrey, Kittle, interchange them.
My second one is the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, and now that Gabe Davis is cheap enough at 5,300, it just makes it that much easier. The run back options are really cheap on the other side. I don't think you necessarily need to go all of that, but I think that I think people, rightfully so, the Jets are playing better this year. This is a game that Bills they absolutely have to win. It's a division game, so I think that they're going to put a little bit more gusto into it. So I particularly like that stack better. I think playing Hurts is maybe my more preferred one-off quarterback play up top, but if I'm going to stack a premium quarterback, it's probably going to be the Bills.
Yeah, and I'm fascinated just to see how this game's going to play out because I think the Jets are trying to show that they belong and they are fighting for a playoff spot, and Buffalo wants to flex their muscles on the little brother, and they're fighting for home field. They're fighting for the division. This is going to be an awesome game, I think, in the morning. But
I agree.
My second favorite stack is going to be the Eagles. I just think they're freaking rolling right now.
Ooh.
New York sucks. They're just turning back into a frog after this, Cinderella story we all thought was happening. Dude, Jalen Hurts is just a man on a mission right now. So love Jalen Hurts, love AJ Brown, love Devonta Smith. I'm gonna double stack that if I'm going there. But if you want to get a little weird, like Jim said, you can even play a Miles Sanders in there with one of those 2. So
all right.
Yep.
Okay.
Bold calls of the week.
Let's go.
Joe, do you want to lead us off? You're probably sleep deprived. You just had a new kid.
Well, I do want everyone to know that usually when someone has a kid, they win. They immediately go on a hot streak. So
I wish your Raiders would have found that out last night.
Oh no! I'm rooting for the Raiders to lose. The fact that turned that way last night was perfect for me because I really want to get rid of Derek Carr and they need to lose. So that was an overall win for the Levine family over here. So my bold call, the music ended. That's how I just turn it down. Raiders. All right, so my bold call of the week is Jamar Chase goes for 45 points.
45?
He absolutely explodes.
Oh my God. That would be something.
Yep.
Jim?
It will be.
Man, I feel like I need to get more bold now. I 45. Holy shit.
It's been done before.
It has been done before, and I was a large beneficiary of some of those games last year, so I wouldn't mind seeing that again.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go to a game that we were talking about, Joe. It was one of your favorite stacks. It's a guy that is a premium player that I don't think enough people are going to play this week, and that's going to be Christian McCaffrey. I will say that he goes for 35 plus this week.
All right.
Whoa. I think the Seattle-Carolina game is actually the one that becomes the highest scoring game of the week.
Dude, Vinnie is fucking planting his flag against us, Jimmy.
I just
it's so wild.
I'm not saying no.
Wreck sabotage.
I could very much see I could see 2 Carolina defensive touchdowns. We know Seattle plays in these weird games, dude. They always do. And Seattle plays in the weird games. I could see this thing just getting wild and wacky. Fucking just punt return for a touchdown, block kick for a touchdown. Just watch. It's gonna get weird and but
okay. Well, there's one last final business here. What is the bet between Huntley and Darnold?
I don't know, Jim. What do you want to do? What do you got up your sleeve, freak?
I'm thinking like a wasabi bet or something like that. You know?
What?
No, come on.
Snort it? Are you crazy?
No, just like a way bigger dollop than you're supposed to take.
Oh man!
Just for the pod. Come on, guys, do it for the pod.
I don't know.
A Tabasco bump.
We'll snort of Tabasco.
Are you crazy?
What? I've done it before.
I don't know.
I'd rather do
what's that really hot pepper? Habanero? Because I had a habanero pepper.
To kill people?
I had a habanero pepper once, and I didn't know I had it, and I thought I was going to die.
I'd rather just chug maple syrup or something,
that's just kind of gross. We need you to inflict some pain.
Maybe
do it for the pod.
Maybe you got to take a triple shot, Jim. A pound, pound, pound.
3 lines of Tabasco.
Or the old atomic shot.
What's that?
The giant. Remember those shot glasses we had together that weren't really shot glasses? They were a hybrid between a tumbler and
a shot glass. Yeah, the shot glass that you would have, and then I would have a normal size shot glass. Yeah,
yeah. We called them the tequila atomic shots. We'll wager an atomic shot of whatever you want.
I have a DOS boot at my house. Maybe one of you guys has to hit the DOS boot.
I've got one right here.
Oh, yeah, I've got a mini boot.
Hold on.
I got 2 mini boots.
I got a full-size one.
Yeah, you got to have the full-size boot, and do a full boot.
All right, the next time, do you have a full-size boot, Joe?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
So I can give that to you.
That's the bet. Okay, hold on. Jim, I don't know if Jim can hear me. The loser has to drink.
Can't get it down, but it's up there.
Okay, the loser on the next week's pod during the show has to drink the boot.
Do you have a full-size?
Has to chug it.
No, Joe does though. I can
I have a full-size one.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll pick it up. So the loser, raw DK points. Huntley versus Darnold this week.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, loser again. Who has who? Vinny has Huntley.
Vinny
has Darnold.
Jim has Darnold. Loser has to drink the boot on next week's show.
That's
during it. While you're talking, I don't care.
In one try, you got to chug as much as you can.
You have to make it. Yes.
Our pod's an hour.
You can't.
So you have an hour to take the boot down.
No, the first attempt, you have to drink as much as you possibly can.
Yeah, and then you
can't drink the whole thing. That's fine. Then you can finish it during the pod.
Yeah, it's only 4 beers.
All right.
It's 7.
Das Boot.
So it's going to be next Friday. We'll go live.
Yeah, we'll make sure it's a Friday.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in
work.
I'm going to be in Buffalo on Thursday night.
Oh, nice.
So.
What are you doing in Buffalo?
Work, man.
Oh, all right.
He circles the wagon.
You better pack that boot in your luggage, fool.
I'll be back on Friday.
Dude, if you take that as a carry-on, it would be freaking hilarious. You're like, God, I lost a bet.
Just holding it like in a baby like sling.
Pull up to the bar at the Westin downtown Buffalo and be like, "Hey, can you guys fill this up?"
I lost a bet.
I'm gonna need 12 beers to fill this up, guys. Cool. I think that's a good bet. I think that's a solid bet.
Yeah,
right.
I'm looking at the boot. It's up there. I can.
I am more interested in this Huntley Darnold challenge than anything else on Sunday.
Damn it! Don't you let me down.
I'm so excited because like I'm usually in these bets. It's really nice to look from the outside.
I hope that Huntley's hamstring explodes into about 600 pieces in like the first 5 minutes.
You're a twisted human. You know that?
But there's just as much of a chance of that happening to Darnold. Like there's so much risk for both of you in this bet.
Joey,
I can't wait
Darnold
till
does not move that fast.
I can't wait till
he did barrel roll into the end zone the other day.
No, I can't wait till Sammy Boy pulls the head on me and then throws like 3 straight picks and then goes negative and then you have to drink them food. Yeah.
What makes you think Huntley's not going to do the same thing?
Dude, because Huntley's
good.
This
is so exciting to me, this matchup. I love it.
Yeah,
I'm specifically going to play a Sam Darnold's like full stack now, like DJ Moore.
I think you have to. I'm going to have to play a Huntley stack.
I mean,
and then you guys actually have to hedge each other's
If you're
stacks.
this confident in Huntley and you don't fucking play him, then you should.
I'm going to play him. I have him on here.
Okay.
I'm maybe playing him with Andrews, but maybe I'll just get real weird and throw like a Deshaun Jackson in there. Or something.
Oh my god.
All right, I think that's enough. All right.
Incredible.
Detox the liver this week, boys. You got a poop
Manscaped,
coming your way.
Zone 20. Hit us up on Twitter at Red Zone DFS. JJ McIntosh, Vinnie Levine 29, DFS Joey Levine. And show us your winnings. We want to see them. All right, guys. Later.
Peace.